What if I told you that history isn't repeating itself? It's rhyming louder than ever before. That the greatest financial storm in human history isn't coming. It's already forming. Not just on Wall Street, not just in Washington, but in your mortgage, your savings, your paycheck. Because for the first time ever, everything is breaking at once. Stocks, bonds, real estate. The three pillars of modern wealth, all cracking under the same pressure. This is not the Great Depression. It's not the Great Recession. This is the Great Unraveling. In 1929, the stock market fell 89%. Banks failed. Families lost everything. It took 25 years to recover. In 2008, the housing bubble burst. Unemployment hit 10%. Trillions vanished. It took 6 years to heal. But 2025 is different. Because this time, all three bubbles are bursting together. And when everything falls at once, there's nowhere left to hide. The S&P 500 trades at nearly twice its historical value. 7 companies, Apple, Microsoft, Nvidia, Amazon, Google, Meta, and Tesla, now make up 30% of the entire market. 7 giants holding up a world built on confidence and code. But if even one stumbles, the illusion collapses. Nvidia trades at over 60 times earnings, a valuation more extreme than the dot-com bubble. Investors aren't buying profits anymore, they're buying promises. And promises don't last forever. Low synth tone, tension builds. Then there's housing. In 2008, home prices were 35% above average. In 2025, they're 50% above. This bubble is 40% bigger than the one that nearly destroyed the global economy. Commercial real estate is collapsing. Office towers stand half empty, financed at 3%, now facing 8%. They can't refinance, they can't sell, they default. And every default ripples through banks, pensions, and small towns, like fault lines cracking beneath our feet. The US government owes over $36 trillion. That's more than 120% of GDP. And the interest payments over $1.2 trillion a year. That's more than defense, more than Social Security. So what can they do? They can cut spending and cause a recession. They can raise taxes and cause a recession. Or they can print money and destroy the dollar. There's no fourth option. The trap has closed. Bonds, once the safest investment, are now toxic. For the first time in modern history, stocks and bonds are crashing together. The more debt America issues, the higher rates must rise to attract buyers. But higher rates make the debt harder to pay. It's a death spiral, a doom loop with no exit. In 1929, bonds were safe. In 2008, they were refuge. In 2025, they're the problem. For years, cheap money made everyone feel rich. Low rates, easy credit, rising stocks. But it wasn't wealth, it was debt, disguised as prosperity. Credit card debt, $1.1 trillion, auto loans stretched to 7 years. Student loans, $177 trillion, corporate debt, $10 trillion. We've replaced productivity with leverage, and leverage always ends the same way. Collapse. Warren Buffett is sitting on a record $325 billion in cash. Corporate insiders, the billionaires, the CEOs, are selling quietly. Regional banks are cracking again. The yield curve, the most reliable recession signal in history, has already inverted longer than ever before. Every warning light on the economic dashboard is flashing red. And yet, most people are still driving full speed toward the cliff. Rising violin tension, heartbeat increases. When this collapse hits, it won't just erase numbers on screens. It will erase lives. Retirement accounts down 70%. Homes losing half their value. Unemployment spiking past 15%. And this time, the Fed can't save anyone. Inflation won't allow it. They can't cut rates to zero. They can't print infinite dollars. The toolbox that saved us in 2008 is empty. It begins quietly. A missed earnings report. A failed bank, a spark overseas. Then the algorithms start selling. Margin calls hit. Markets fall 30% in days, 50% in weeks. By the time panic sets in, it's too late. Liquidity vanishes. confidence dies, and the dominoes finally fall. When the dust clears, America will look different. Small businesses gone, generational wealth erased, retirement delayed indefinitely. This isn't the end of capitalism, but it is the end of the version we've known, built on cheap credit, easy money, and blind faith in the Fed. History doesn't repeat, but it warns. And right now, it's screaming. 1929 showed us what happens when greed meets leverage. 2008 showed us what happens when debt meets denial. 2025 will show us what happens when everything meets its limit. The everything crash isn't a prediction. It's a process already unfolding. And when it's done, the question won't be if you survive, but how prepared you were before it began. Because when the final domino falls, there won't be time to move. The final domino, how the everything crash will change America forever.